Hello, good morning, you guys. How is everyone doing? I decided to jump on. I got some things I got to do early this morning. I tell you, I'm gonna wait for you all to start get. It's still early. It's like 7:52. Y'all know I be up with the birds. If I was going to say, I know, I tell you, I think it's just me and you. If Black Barbie didn't come in here, that means I'm really on too early because she be the first one up in here. Hey, Diane. Yeah, I was just looking at something. Diane, I got something to tell you. These people on this YouTube is, when I tell you they are twisted. The federal crimes that they are committing, but they playing with the right one. I'm going to file a police report on a female vlogger this morning. She don't live in Memphis, but I'm filing one on her. And then we're gonna do some more stuff tomorrow. Um, it's sad what they doing, but I'm gonna teach them. Okay. Um, let's see. I can't be on here long because I'm going straight over to the police department. I'm not gonna quit because I see how obsessive these men are, but it's a damn shame to be a woman and be obsessive. Oof. I'm straight up filing a police report on them. Hear my right hand to God. And then tomorrow, when I get downtown, I'm going straight. I work at the federal building. I'm going straight to file a report on it at the FBI. Hear my right hand to God on my daddy's grave. I'm gonna do it. Anyways, you guys, if I don't do it, God gonna kill me dead. If I don't do it, I promise to God I'm gonna do it. I promise to God I'm gonna do it. Somebody just send me an email, a rundown of everything. Bitch, you don't run my motherfucking credit, hoe. First of all, you don't. I would never in my life be so obsessed to be. I ain't gonna even give them the play, but it's going down. No, she didn't threaten me. She violated my rights, my privacy. She's stalking me. She stalked me. You can't run people's credit unless they give you permission to do it, right? So you get my information and you run my credit. I'm gonna make that bitch wish she was not obsessive. Okay. It's already some more stuff going on. Like I said, I think it's all a ring. They buy information from certain vloggers. I mean, I know that was already being looked at, but each and every time I'm told about a vlogger getting my information, it's gonna be some consequences behind it. And the good thing about it is it's easily traceable. So, hey, it's easily traceable. Each and every time your information is ran, it's easily traceable. Um, all of the information that is put out, all of the systems. That's why I've always been responsible about what I did, right? It can be audited. The feds can audit it. Each and every time you're paying for systems, the information can be audited when the feds get a hold of it. So Hey, these folks buy information, and it's because of their obsessions. Um, like I said, these motherfuckers act like I'm Beyonce or somebody. But bitch, it's gonna cost you, hoe. I promise you, you a motherfucking scamming ass bitch, anyways. Okay. Anytime people get in IDs and shit in somebody else's name, you a scamming asshole. You fucking over a woman in New York. Okay. These folks go and get credit cards and shit in folks' names, and people don't even know, but they so damn dumb they don't understand that when they're okay. Let me stop. Anyways, you guys, let's have an open discussion, okay? Because I got to get off of here to file a report on these stalking assholes. All right. And you know, you file a report in your city because that's what gets the ball rolling. And this right here ain't no fake report, because you know you get what happens is you get you know, there are laws against filing fake reports. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I want to talk about why are Black people selling out the future of our people for money? Okay. Why are Black people selling out the future of our people for money? I was looking at, there are some things that's going on around the Memphis area with some other politicians, and it's been happening forever. You know, there's some things that's going on with the school board, and I've just been sitting back watching it, right? I'm like, wow, you know, and that is on a lower level, because the school board, you have to think about these politicians when they run for office, they don't make a lot of money. You don't make a lot of money. Your check is not a lot to serve the communities, right? Sometimes they get like $25,000 a year, right? But they run it, but they spend more on their campaign than they do than they get paid when they get into the positions. And it is because once they get into the positions, they're over contracts, things of that nature. And so what they do is they get kickbacks, right? They're able to get in bed with the people that's really got the money, right? And and so when they get in bed with the people that's got the money, if they're the elected official, they're over these contracts, they're able to start getting line in their pockets, right? And getting money up under the table. You know, you think about the lawmakers and the congressmen that's in the Senate, they don't make a lot of money. These are lawyers and stuff that have made lots and lots and lots of money, that leave their law firms to get into politics, right? And that is, and when they leave, they are absolutely filthy rich. And it is because they're able to take money up under the table from pharmaceutical companies, from certain billion-dollar companies. They start passing laws and stuff that are not conducive to the everyday people like yourself and myself. But they're able to, they start doing quietly doing things because they're getting, for you know, people that they have an interest in certain things, and they start taking money up under the table and lying in their pockets, and when they leave, they're rich, right? And I think it's so sad because we're starting to see more and more Black people. Memphis has majority African American. um Memphis has majority African American um politicians, right? And we're starting to see more and more Black politicians sprout up, okay? Because what we do as Black people, we go, you know, we want to start supporting our people and this and that, and then they get their asses in and sell out. And let me just say this, one of the reasons that they're able to sell out, okay, is because once we elect certain politicians, okay, once we elect certain politicians, we don't watch them if they're Black. You know, we feel like, well, we got our person in. It's really more so just about the win. We got our person in, and so we feel like we're okay. Well, we got our person in, they are elected, and we feel like that we're not supposed to watch them, right? Feel like that we're not supposed to watch them. Mama G said jealousy is going to land her in big trouble. It has already, that jealousy has already landed her in big trouble, because ain't nowhere in the world I would be willing to break federal crimes and federal laws rather, uh to try and dig up something on another woman. It ain't nothing on me. It's some stuff going on as it relates to my daughter and myself that I haven't been saying anything about. Okay, because that was absolutely federal. It was absolutely federal. I think I may have spoken on it a little bit, but let me just say this. Y'all make sure, I know people tell you all the time to watch your credit. When your insurance and stuff starts to go up, okay, your insurance and stuff may start to go up and you wondering why. That's because they're running your consistently running your information. Right now you got a bunch of hood rats and stuff that's got insurance licenses and that has gotten into the medical field, and what they do is they sell your information. There are a lot of foreigners over here. I'm gonna go ahead and say this because I know this is gonna be taken care of. Here, my right hand to God, me and my daughter we're gonna get paid. And it's gonna be some bitches that's gonna be out of a job. Okay. And so what they do is, not only do you need to check your credit, you need to make sure that you're checking your medical history. Okay. Because what they're doing is, when your insurance starts to go up, okay, my medical history has always been motherfucking clean, okay, and my daughter's. So what ended up happening was, my daughter had gone to one of my youngest daughter had gone to the hospital, and when she went to the hospital because she was having some issues, she was like, "Mom, that because I always go with them." She was like, "Mom, my when they put my social security number in the system, another person's name is coming up." Well, my antennas went up on that. Okay. I was like, well, maybe there was a mistake. And the girl was like, well, it was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, with my oldest daughter and with myself, okay, my insurance just kept going up and up and up and up. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just going up because of my age. Okay. So then, come to find out, this is what they're doing. And just like I told, we filed a report with the motherfucking FBI. Okay, when we got interviewed, I said I believe that it's coming from YouTube, and I named I sure did. Okay, I sure did. It's coming from YouTube. So this is what's going on. They're getting your social security number and your information, and they're selling. They got girls that work they have insurance licenses that's getting ready to go do federal time, bitches that's got their CNAs and LPNs, and they got access to systems at the hospital, nurses and shit. All this shit they get ready to lose, right? Because the feds on top of their damn heads. They selling your information to foreigners, and they're going, and just like somebody is getting cancer treatments in my daughter's name, okay, somebody is getting medication. They're selling your information to foreigners and to other people, mainly foreigners, and they're going and getting different medications. They're going and getting ID and shit somehow, okay, because they got somebody they working with at one of these DMVs that's being looked into in Texas somewhere, a DMV in Texas, where they able to go and get IDs and shit in your name, and they getting treatments and medications, and all of this stuff is on your medical history. Okay, this is what these motherfuckers on here doing. That's the reason why I always say this right here. When these bitches go down on here, it's gonna be way bigger than what happened on Backpage. Okay, it's gonna be way bigger than what happened on Backpage. I have to hold my composure a lot because I get mad as hell. It's a lot of stuff I can't say. Y'all know I'll blurt some stuff out. I go, ooh. Hear my right hand to God last night. Somebody texted me and said, girl, I was thinking about you. I'm proud of you. You ain't been having no outbursts. I ain't gonna have no outbursts right here. But I'm sure some of them already know. You violating HIPAA laws, which is federal. You motherfucking bitches go get your licenses and shit. You bitches talking about you repairing credit and you illegally running folks' credit. No, I'm gonna handle you. I'm gonna handle you. Okay, I'm gonna handle you. Okay. And here's the thing, my information is scrubbed. There is not a broker. We double checked. There's not a broker that's got my information. The only way to pull up my information is by systems like the systems that I pay for because I'm licensed. I can pull up anybody's information. It's connected to TBI. So somebody has illegally with systems that's connected to the feds because my stuff ain't online. Nothing updated of mine is online. Before we even started this, what's going on now in the background, that's what we made sure. It ain't nothing of mine online other than my businesses. So my information was illegally obtained. That's stalking me. There's already been somebody to go to jail for stalking me, and there's getting ready to be some more. Okay. Anyways, she says God's going to continue to bless you. Thank you. But let's get back to Black people are selling out the future of our people for money. Because see, somebody just sent me a text message last night saying they was proud of me, for not having my outburst, so that they can do what they do. But each and every time, I do appreciate. Let me just say this, because I don't want nobody to ever think that I would ever tell. I would never. I promise to God, I would never get on my channel and have an outburst and reveal nobody's name that God has touched to put me up on game. So no need to worry. I don't care how mad I get. I get mad because I don't like being violated. I don't like being violated. But I promise to God, I'll never reveal you. I don't care how mad I get. You can continuously tell me. I let God continuously use you. I would never reveal your name. I promise to God. Hear my right hand to God. The only people that I pass the information on to are the authorities. But I promise to God, I never get on here and bust you out. Bust out anybody. Okay? But I just want to say I do appreciate the people that rather, and I know some people say, well, they only doing it because they ain't rocking with them no more. It don't matter why they doing it. I appreciate it. Okay. Sometimes God allow people to start falling out with each other so that they can be a blessing to a person that is being violated. Okay. So I don't even get into that. Well, you only doing it now. I don't care. Thank you. I sure appreciate it. That's hey, and I'll never reveal it because I don't do stuff like that. When people tell me stuff, I get mad. I get mad because I can't believe that folks will go to the lengths to do the things that they've done to me. Okay, that's stalking, you committing federal. I promise I'm not gonna stop. I got a lawyer. I promise to God, and I'm gonna tell you, I promise to God, some of these facilities get ready to get sued. Okay. Ooh, let me stop. Anyways, you guys, we're gonna get back to the selling out because if I get too much into that, I get mad. I start to get mad. Just like one of the somebody was saying that these facilities that sell information, because some people, everybody can't have systems. You have to be in certain fields. Once we finish with them, they're gonna vet who they sign up. They're gonna vet them more. They're gonna start vetting more. I promise to God. Once we finish with them. But yeah, that's what they're doing. They're selling your information to Hispanics and stuff, illegal immigrants. And they're going, like I said, somebody has gotten medicines and stuff in my name. Someone right now is getting cancer treatments in my daughter's name. Okay. Anyways, let's just continue on because God said, my grandma used to say, you won half the battle when you know. And then I got the right people on my team. Okay. It's a beautiful thing when the right people take an interest in he said, I was looking at looking at your yesterday video, and now you're alive. Good morning. Good morning. But let's just continue on because I would be devastated. You know, when I didn't know what was going on, I didn't know what angle, and it was extremely frustrating. And then I was going through a lot because my dad had died, and I didn't want to deal with a whole lot of stuff. And I feel like if I had dealt with it, but I shouldn't even have to deal with nothing like this. So now I'm just having to be a bulldog with it, because people get comfortable in violating you. She ain't gonna do nothing. Motherfucker, my daddy died, bitch. So when my daddy was sick and my grieving and stuff, that was way more important. I didn't even feel like I should have had to deal with motherfuckers stalking me and violating me on YouTube. Okay. But I'm dealing with it now. I'm dealing with it now. Okay. But anyways, it says, but why are black people selling out? Okay. Why are black people selling out the future of our people? And what I was saying was, they start taking money, and that is because there are no consequences, right? There are no consequences for there are no consequences for oh wow. For when people sell out the black community, right? There are no consequences. What's up, Magname Mace? There are no consequences for when people sell out the black community. Okay. Um, I feel like we have to move militant as it relates to the future of our people. You don't see people selling out other communities. That's because they're not gonna go for it. Right. What we do is we get emotional, right? And um we'll fight for a little while, and then we'll turn our attention to something else instead of seeing things through. I think that's one of the reasons that my dad was so successful, because when he got into a fight, he would see things through. He didn't pump fake or whatever they call it. My dad used to say, um if you're gonna get into a fight now, you're gonna have to always see it through, because if you stop, especially if you're dealing with some Negroes, he used to always say, you're dealing with them Negroes, they're gonna feel like you're gonna start something. They're gonna feel like you ain't gonna never do nothing, and they're gonna get extremely brazen in what they do, kind of like what happened on YouTube when I was going through with my father. I would get started with something, I would stop because I was going through depression and everything else. I shouldn't have even had to deal with this in the loss of a loved one. Okay. And so they probably think ain't nothing gonna happen now, but I serve notice to you motherfuckers. I promise to God on my daddy's grave that you're gonna start seeing some of them go to jail. I'm seeing that thing through. Okay. And so anyways, you guys, and so we have to see things through. And so now we have people that look like us in the black community that is just totally comfortable, right? That is just totally comfortable with selling out our community. And so because we've been taught, okay, that you know we're never supposed to, and it's so sad, the types of people that have been selling us out. Now let me just say this. Hey, I believe in God. I do believe that there are some wonderful pastors. But I think about now that when pastors start getting these real big churches and stuff, it becomes political, right? They start to play the political game because they have to pay their bills, right? When if you got a word from God, you could be in a storefront church. You don't have to have marble floors, marble ceilings and all of that, things that cost millions and millions of dollars, because now it's becoming something else, right? And so, you know, a lot of what has happened is because it's a lot of the older people that grew up in church that vote. A lot of the young people don't vote. And that's a campaign that my dad and I was going to start. I think I'm going to just carry it on through about incorporating in the program about teaching the importance to young people, the importance of their vote. There is strength in numbers. Whoever always, my dad used to always say this, whoever, they don't ever want Black people to be involved in politics. They want us to think our vote don't count, and they want us to say we leave the politics to the politicians. You know why? Whoever controls the politics controls the economics, and they don't ever want us to open our eyes to realize how important we are to control the economics, right? Yeah, to control the economics. And so um we allow, when we vote for these people, just like with Kamala Harris, and I'm not going to go back and forth with that situation, but what I will say is, regardless of what color she was, okay, what color she was or wasn't, it don't really matter to me. But I'm tired of people coming to the Black community wanting our vote, getting us emotional, because we are emotional people. Our ancestors never got into counseling. Okay. And so I think it just kind of trickled down to us. You could tell how emotional we get, even when we talking and stuff, how emotional we are. Right. And so, especially when we get riled up, we get the hollering and screaming, our emotions just start flying everywhere. That's because, we just psychologically, our people need some healing, right? And so they know how to get us emotional. That's why we get to falling out in church when there's a preach or whatever. And they go into these churches, and some of these pastors that have sold out, okay, they allow Pharaoh. Okay, God says, Pharaoh, you got to let my people go. And I've been speaking about Pharaoh for the last 9 years on my TV show. When God put that in my spirit, when my dad started teaching me about politics, Pharaoh, let my people go. And Pharaoh is a lot of these Black leaders that we supposed to be looking up to, right? And so, not all of them, because there are some Black leaders that's in it. But they're only just one person. You might have one person that sits on a committee that was elected, that's truly in there for the people. But it's 9 of them. Okay. And so they are all constantly outvoted by the ones that are taking money up under the table, and then they get together and make that one person that is there for you look bad. Okay. And so now what's happening is we're starting to see people allow Pharaoh to come up in their pulpits and talk about vote for them, or influence you to vote for Pharaoh, because they're getting a kickback. And then the Black community is consistently suffering, and there is no repercussions. Okay. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm my dad's child, for real. There should be repercussions, okay, for consistently selling out a community that has always been in a state of emergency. Why y'all think I have such a heart for when they say, well, your heart is real soft for these kids and stuff? That's because I understand a lot of this stuff is engineered. I ain't no damn fool. See, when folks get to talking about what you love them police, it says, yeah, but I'm one of the realest ones that you're going to ever run up on, because I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you need some help, I'm going to try to help you. Yes, we need the police. We can't have a lawless society. But what people want is, they want for people that's going to finesse them and say, well, we need to defund the police, because they want us to kill each other. It's our community that's going to be affected. Right? If they can keep your mind on stuff like that, because ain't nobody going to defund the police. they can continuously steal. That takes your mind off of what's for real. How y'all allocating those funds? What kind of funds came in and how were they allocated? They keep your mind on the BS that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know damn well that they ain't gonna defund the police, right? And so we have people that consistently come into the Black community and they feel comfortable with selling us out because there are no repercussions, because they get so many of our leaders that we trust. They breaking them off some money, right? To be escorted into our community and gain our trust. Well, I do trust, Pastor Watermelon. I do trust him. If he say it, if Pastor Watermelon, he preached so good. I think that politician crooked, but if Pastor Watermelon is a man of God, if he say he good, if he say he okay, I guess I'll just vote for him again. Y'all, that's what's going on in our community. People take advantage of our brokenness, and it don't help that we are just infested with jealousy of each other. I shouldn't have to be. I got to go to the police station when I get off here to get something going with another Black female that violated me because of her obsession. And whatever obsession they got, I'm breaking it. Whoever got an obsession with me, motherfucker, I'm coming for you. If I don't tell you, you better not. You better not violate me. Cause see, I gotta believe that if you got an obsession with me like that, and I don't want nothing to do with you, do y'all know the type of information that is available to me? I don't go looking for these folks' stuff. I don't care. I got a sane mind. Okay. But then when I file reports on these people and the police start looking into it, it's easy. I mean, the first thing they say is, oh, this person right here got a history. It just comes up. I remember I had to go file a report on somebody that person meant that person was trying to get somebody to kill me. And I remember the police came to my house and he was like, I was like, well, the person don't live in Memphis. He said, well, it don't matter because, you file a report here and we communicate with the state that they're in. And he started telling me about how the laws was, how they do it. And so he said, so what happened is their state, start communicating with their state. And then, then you do this, here are the steps. And then once, then their state will arrest them. Right. And so I remember the officer, they've updated a lot of what the officers have because he pulled out something real small. And he was like, what's the person's name? He was putting in his report. And when he put the person name in his report, all you could see was just, the report on his screen, it was just moving at a rapid. He said, God damn. And then he said, do you know whose pictures these are? I said, that's him. That's him. He said, oh, okay. I see. He said, I see. I see. Because there's a history of it. I see. Okay. Let me go ahead and take your report. You got something to be worried about. Okay. And so that's the issue. We violate each other when we, maybe because of mental illnesses. I think I put a lot on mental illness, but some of these folks just dirty. They're used to violating people and getting away with it. And so when you say you ain't gonna violate me, they kick and scream, I'm supposed to be able to violate you if I want to, because I do what I want to do. I'm used to violating women. I'm a stalker, I'm a harasser. Kicking and screaming. Because it's something wrong with them. I'm supposed to be able to kill women if I want to. That's what's going on in our community, okay? That's the reason why you have to sock soul to them, okay? And so it don't help that we turn the weapons on each other for no reasons at all. Okay? For no reasons at all. When we have a bigger issue, we have black politicians who go, my biggest issue is black people. Black people don't want to be helped. That's what they say. Black people don't want to be helped. Well, what my biggest, I'm trying to help black people. Black people don't want to be helped. So why should I stress myself out trying to help them? I'm just gonna take the kickback like everybody else and think about me and my family. I'm not gonna be helping people that don't want to be helped. That is the mindset because we stay focused, and it's wrong. We stay focused on things that we ain't got no business being focused on. And so everybody just screwing our community royally. And that's because there ain't no consequences. When the Asians elect people, when the Caucasians elect people for their community, when the Hispanics, when the Indians elect people, they let them know this is our agenda. We're the only people that's lost. We let people tell us what they're gonna do for us. I'm gonna do this for you, and I'm gonna do that for you, and I'm gonna put a statue in the middle of your community. I don't want no, we don't need no damn statue. We need some resources. We know how we suffering, and we sit up as just like what they did in the slavery days and let people tell us this. I'm gonna give you slop. This is how I'm gonna guide you. Okay, massa. He said he gonna guide us to the promised land. You don't let no politician come up into your community and tell you what you gonna do. If we're gonna elect them, we got an agenda. And we tell them this is what we need. Can you do it? You don't tell us what we need. We living in these communities. We suffering. This is what we need and what we want. If you can't deliver, we ain't gonna elect you. And so we're gonna build a statue. We're gonna put bikes for the kids, you know, bike lanes and stuff like that. We don't need no bike lane. We can't afford to buy the bikes. We need resources. And so that's what going in our community while we're digging ditches for everybody else. While we're digging ditches for everybody else. Okay. Folks are taking advantage of our community. Okay. People are taking advantage of our community. You know, I think it's a shame. I never thought that I would live to see the day. And I just got to say this because I go back to, because I think about, although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And I continuously bring up how when my information was sold, this was the day that my dad passed away. How that man in all that red came and knocked on my door and was standing at my door. And, I think about my cousins who are real street dudes, right? One of my cousins was like, I wish I could recognize who he was. I wish I could. And they ran, took his picture. And I mean, they got some, what the police will do is, like, if they get a picture of you, just like when that person came and knocked at my door. I don't know what that man was going to do. He was sent to my door. I'm told that he was sent to kill me. And so, hey, a female reached out to me and told me that, Miss Tamara, I'm here my right hand to God. I'm told he was sent to kill me. And so, um, I think it was at that point that's when the police realized, hey, this is serious. We really gotta start looking at this. But they have a system. What we did was that's the reason why when folks were sitting up talking about this stuff with Raven and them, I know what police officers do when they screenshot and they getting pictures off of cameras and stuff. And so they put the picture into a system, and what they do is they try to get hits, right? And so they didn't get an exact hit. They got some similarities, but I got to thinking about that thing because what they did was they ran their database, they ran for hits right around the Memphis and the Mississippi area. But I got to thinking about that thing. I was like, I don't think that hits the hits that they was getting, I don't think it was wide enough. Because anytime you come to somebody's house, a woman's house that ain't did nothing to you because you don't want her on YouTube, these men are twisted. Okay? They're twisted. They better be glad I was grieving my dad. Cause if I had known that they was at my house on some BS, I would have shot through that door. I would have shot straight up through that door and knocked him down with his little short ass because he was short. But anyways, I don't like thinking about stuff like that because I start getting mad. The lengths that these people have gone through, cowards. I start getting mad. I'm gonna tell you some real street dudes because I got family that's real street dudes. They didn't take too kind to that at all. Because real men don't do that. You can't even be sent out to violate no woman. Okay, they're not gonna do it. But anyways, I don't want to get too far out because y'all know I start having flashbacks. I start getting mad. I do when I start getting mad, I goes into a rage for real. I will go and I'm telling you. That's why I tell these folks, leave me alone. Okay. But anyways, why are black people selling out the future of our people? All right, because I got so mad, I was getting ready to put his picture up, but I ain't trying to ruin no investigations. I was getting ready to pull that picture up and put it on my channel just then. Pay somebody $500 to tell me who it is. Oh, that makes me mad. But I have to. Lord, let me let these folks do their job. Okay, hold on, y'all. It seemed like when I started finding out something new, just like I found out something new with this female vlogger on here did to me, it triggers me again. Okay, it starts to trigger me again. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? Anyways, I have to do a woosah, y'all. Oh, I have to do a woosah. But anyways, you guys, I feel like we are our own worst enemy as it relates to, and I say quite a bit of stuff on here because I be wanting to put stuff on record too. It's already on record. Like one of the officers told me, "Why are you putting it on record? You put it on the official record. Why you feel like you need to put it on the internet?" Because I want to. Okay. I'm gonna lay them down. I promise to God, I'm gonna lay them down. And so what we see now, we have more men who, when they have obsessions with women, they want to kill them. When they have obsessions with them, they want to kill them. We see it every single day. It's happening more and more and more and more. Okay, so um, hey, I would say God was with him that day, because the way that I was feeling, the emotions that I was going through, and my dad had just closed his eyes for good. Somebody was praying for that nigga. Because with the emotions and the anger that I was feeling about losing my dad was my best friend. I would have filled him with as many holes as I could fill him with. He didn't stand a chance with me. So he came to my house. Somebody was praying for that nigga. Okay. Anyways, you guys, hey, but we got to do better as Black people. We do. Cause see, like I said, I was thinking about what Grove Hero said. Grove Hero said he don't fear. Now I don't fear. Although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. No bitch nigga could ever make me fold. Okay. I've been around street dudes my whole life, and I ain't never seen nothing like what I seen on here. That's why I know they're a bunch of sissies. They're a bunch of sissies. They taking more Peter than any woman ever could. Okay. But anyways, you guys, what we have to do is we have to do better in our community. We do. We don't have a choice. I think it's a lot of selfishness as it relates to what goes on within our community. It's a lot of selfishness because it's a lot of selfishness because we think about what we want now at this moment. We don't think about what we do is supposed to be for the future of our generations. We're supposed to leave things behind for them. And so when I think about stuff now, like I think about when I leave here, I want to leave a lot of things behind for my children and my grandbaby. And if I happen to leave before my mother, my sisters, I want to that's those are the types of things that I think about. But I think people are so self-absorbed, right? It's all about them. They don't even give a damn about their children. You got folks that don't even think enough about their children to put a $10,000 burial policy on themselves. Hell, they have their family and stuff scrambling around trying to sell fish plates and stuff. Okay, for them. Fish plates. Okay. That's true. Real men don't violate women. No, they don't. I've seen it. Like I said, I grew up around street dudes. My cousins and them are hardcore street dudes. And I don't agree with a lot of the things they did as far as playing with women, hearts and stuff. But when those women, and they had a right to be angry, when they would lash out in anger because they felt like they had been played with, when they was hollering and screaming and stuff at my auntie's house, at them or wherever. Hey, those were real street dudes. They would get up and leave. They would get up and leave, um, because my auntie taught them boys that you don't put your damn hands on no woman. And if you feel like you get ready to put your hands on her, you get your ass up and leave, because I ain't gonna be coming to get you out of jail. You don't let her do, because she's angry, what is necessary to send you to jail. You leave. You hurt her worse when you get up and walk out. And that's what they did. And they're still real nice, older, and they still nice looking men and get money. So you think about a lot of what these sissies do on here. The real street dudes kind of laugh at that. You got men doing shit like that. Okay. They kind of laugh at it. Because most real men they're not gonna get tied up in no arguments and stuff with no women. They ain't even got time to be arguing with no women and going back and forth with no women and stuff. They're not gonna do it. They sure ain't gonna be showing up at a woman's house. That makes him look like a sucker, man. I ain't stalking no woman. And they sure ain't gonna do it because some other man told them to do it. Now you think I'm a punk. But you have to think about some of these men history, because I have, and he's probably gonna send me, and they've been trying to trace him. We know what camp he come out of, just figuring out who he is. Um, a lot of these men have backgrounds where they've committed sexual acts. Now, let me just say this. One of my pet peeves is a damn pervert that violates women. That's one of my pet peeves. I've known women. I know a girl right now. As a matter of fact, I know two. They're grown women. And I remember she told me, and I'm gonna get back to talking about the politics. I remember she told me, and she's a minister now, and I got weak to. I'll never forget. She told me I was working in the chief's office, and she called herself, was giving her testimony. She'd come and sit up there and talk to me, and she said, and when I was a little girl, my dad was, and this lady is traumatized, and I don't think she know it. And I was holding my stomach. It made me sick. And I was like, God, if it's making me sick, I know that this lady could not be dealing with what these old ass men did to her as a baby. And so she said, I used to sit on, when my dad, he was a minister, and he worked. And so my mom gave me to my dad because she couldn't take care of me. And she said, and so when I would get out of school, my dad would tell me to sit on his friend's next door porch until I got home. And she said, I used to cringe when they would say, come into the house. She said, I already knew what they was getting ready to do. And this, I'll never forget this. This is why I can't stand I don't take too kind. A violation is a violation. That's the reason why I go to the police, bitch. Oh, you gonna go to jail. Any violations triggers me. And she said, I remember when he called me into the house one time, I was sitting on the step. She was in the damn kindergarten. She said, and I'll never forget. He pulled his penis out and he said, suck my penis. And I remember as a little girl, he had something on his penis. And I said, what's that on your penis? A old ass man. I don't like violators. Do you understand me? Motherfucker, I don't care who you are, a woman or a man. You think you're going to violate me? I'm getting the folks involved every time, and I'm going to keep digging, bitch, until you lose everything. Do you understand me? Everything. You think I ain't got the endurance? I owe you niggas. I owe you. And so I was sitting there in my desk, and when she was telling me that, she called herself was giving her testimony. Y'all, I was holding my stomach. I was like, good God Almighty, I know this lady traumatized. I don't like violators. Because if it's easy for somebody to violate somebody's privacy, it ain't no stopping on what they do. When you start digging into folks' personal stuff, that's an issue. Hey, if you'll do that, you'll go and grape a woman. When people don't have no stop about what they do, they'll do anything. That's the reasons why you have to have them sent to prison. And so my one of my cousins got a friend, and even to this day, when I don't even really care to be around her too much because she's so emotional. She drinks, she gets funky, pissy, drunk, and she get to talking about whenever she drink, and her sister ain't no good either because when her sister get mad at her, she'll try to hurt her too. I don't like being in the midst of stuff like that. And so what she do is she get to crying when she get to talking about her mama was twisted. And her mama had an old man, and when her mama would go to work, her mama would put her in the bed with him because he preferred young girls when she was about 12 years old. And so her sister, with her no good crazy self, when they get into it, she try to argue, well, mama used to put you in the bed with Mr. Such and such when she would go to work. She would put you in the bed with him. That girl drinks herself to death because of the trauma, because of somebody violating her. I don't like violators. Okay. And even though I'm getting ready to go file a report on a woman, she violated me. Okay. And so that's why I said we're our own worst enemies. Any violation. That's why I get time. We can't live in a. Do y'all know the stuff that I've seen working at the police department? Do y'all know what they do to children? Do y'all know what these freaks that don't want the police, that talk about defund the police, do y'all know what they do to babies? That's why I get to go when these women sitting up following some of these vloggers, I go, do y'all know their background? They think they've gotten some of this stuff expunged. Ain't nothing expunged to me. Everything, even when they think it's expunged, the police have to keep everything on file. It's never expunged to the police department. When you're trying to get a job or something, they can't see it, but everything is always on file with the police departments. That's why I say, y'all, we gotta change our mindset. It's some real stuff going on. And people be talking about she deep and she kooky. No, I see a lot. I've seen a lot. It ain't normal for people to be digging and violating and risking their freedom to violate other people. It ain't nothing normal about that. You mess up your livelihood to violate somebody else. It ain't nothing normal about that. That has to be seen about. Because I don't break laws. You know why? Because I care about my livelihood. Okay. So when people supposed to be sane and they start, doing certain things, then it has to be seen about. Okay. Because there's no telling what they're subject to do to you. So we have a bigger issue. And that's why there are certain vloggers that I look at and I be in the bushes. I be looking at them and I go, I love those some real even if they street dude, I go, those some real dudes. I like looking at them because you could tell by somebody's conversation what they will and won't do really. They be real dudes, and that's becoming it's becoming extinct. So when I run up on some guys that's talking some, that's why I tell you I look at the twins and stuff all the time. I be in their bushes quite a bit. Those some real dudes. You could tell from their conversation that they ain't with a whole lot of stuff, and they don't entertain a lot of bullshit either. I like looking at their stuff. I like looking at their vlog. They're not gonna let a lot of stuff go on in their chat so the women can come into their chat and ain't even got to worry about being violated or disrespected because they're not gonna allow it to happen. And that's why I say our community has a bigger issue going on. We hate what we see. A lot of us hate what we see when we look in the mirror. And I know people say that I get too emotional. Look, I understand that a lot of these young people are our future. And we get to thinking about these rappers. And folks go, well, you go so easy on Jizzle. It's a whole lot of them I go easy on. I understand that a Big 30 was talking about he like 23. I didn't even know he was that young. It's a whole lot of them. When I talk about them, if I scowl at them, I then try to encourage them. I want them to know what they're doing ain't right. Even Lil Migo, you don't hear me say a lot about Lil Migo because I look at Lil Migo as being a child. I talk about him every now and again because Lil Migo, what you doing is some of the stuff you're doing, you know it's messed up. But I still don't want to create an energy or an atmosphere to have people going at him because I understand Lamigo's brain still got to grow. I don't even think he's 25. People like him. But I think it's a shame. Like we got issues within our community, and it ain't them against us. Unfortunately, it's us against us. You don't, as I was getting ready to say, you don't see people in other communities selling out each other because they want to see their communities grow. They want to see resources flourishing throughout their community because they understand if there's resources flourishing throughout their community, then the money gonna be flowing in their accounts too. We're the only community that have a covenant spirit. Well, I ain't gonna go support her business because she gonna make some money. I ain't gonna go support no black business because they ain't gonna do nothing. Go buy a nice house and a nice car. Don't you know that when you have money flourishing out throughout your community, that's why I get mad at some of these folks that that are black that's making all this money. You don't kill people like Dolph that has a heart to give back. Everybody should feel a certain way about that. When you got somebody that does not have a covenant spirit, that has a heart to generate finances and resources in a community that's in a state of emergency, you don't take out nobody like that. So everybody ought to feel a certain way. And it happened at the command and the hand of other black men. So everybody ought to feel a certain way about it. Right? That's true, the Black Barbie, both men and women. I've seen so much stuff. They do so much stuff to children. Oh, these women ought to be ashamed of themselves for bringing any and everybody up over their kids. Let me just say something. In the past, when I've worked at the police department, and they don't allow them to do it anymore. I'll never forget. I think I've spoken about this before. A lady that worked in the DA's office was crying. She said, "Why do they do children so bad?" I told y'all about the girl who brought the man into a house and she had the 6-month-old baby and she moved him in and he tried to penetrate the baby and broke the baby open, a 6-month-old baby. And then he took a needle and thread and tried to sew the baby back up. Them police officers tore his ass out the damn frame. Okay, they tore his ass. Now, this happened back in the early 2000s. They tore his ass out the frame. But people are so brainwashed. Okay? People are so brainwashed and they tore his ass out the frame because he had the nerve to try and resist a little bit. They was already mad at him. So you just do this to this baby laying here bleeding like this. Cause you try to penetrate a baby and tear her open, a 6-month-old, and your black ass gone when the police get there. The girl called the police. She had no business moving a man up in her house that she didn't even know. If you ask me, she should have been in jail too. But then I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, he jumped on the girl. She called the police. She had to get her baby to the hospital. The police got there. He tries to resist, and they tore his ass up. They had to take him by the med first. But we're so programmed. You had people, activists, that like to get the good black folks stirred up. Because if you ask me, he should have been taken out. If it had been my child, he'd have been police. The police would have been gotten there. It would have been a DOA. And so you had so-called activists, because they put all types of knots on his head. But he was resisting. After he did that to that child, he had the nerve to resist. And you had activists talking about, yeah, he did that child was wrong, but he got rights too. No police ain't have no business doing that to him. Yeah, but what about what he just did to this baby? He tried to penetrate this baby and ripped her little vajayjay to shreds, and then went over to the store and got a needle and thread and tried to sew her little vagina back together. He hurt that baby with that needle and thread trying to sew her back up. You sticking a needle and thread through a baby's vajayjay? Yeah, he did that baby wrong. He got rights too. The police need to be fired. Don't nobody take our community seriously. We sick. Don't nobody take us seriously. People laugh at us. They laugh at us. Black people say they want justice, but look at them. They mad at the police. Well, after what he did to that baby. Our community needs some help. Our community needs help. So, to make a long story short, Black people are able to be elected and to sell out the future of our people for money because there are no consequences for selling out the Black community. They sell us out, and then they go and pay the pastors and people, leaders that we trust, that we put in a high place on pedestals. They're able to pay them to influence us to vote for them again. It ain't no consequences. You know why they don't do it in other communities? Because there are consequences. First of all, they don't want to sell out the future of their people. They want the resources to flourish so that they can get rich, right? If it's money flowing in your community, everybody wins. We ain't caught on to that yet, okay? But if you think you're going to go and get elected and sell out another community, they have consequences and repercussions, and they quietly handles a politician that thinks that he's going to be elected and sell out the future of their people. He's going to be quietly handled. So they don't do it because they know it's going to be some repercussions. There's no repercussions for selling out the Black community because we have our mind on destroying each other. Okay, we ain't got time to look at what they doing to us. We got to try to stop each other from moving forward. That's the reasons why they're doing it in our community. That's why it's easy for politicians to sell out the future of our community. I was looking at some of them board members in Memphis. They just got elected and they've already taken money, from my understanding. And they're brazen with it. I'm elected now. You can't do a damn thing to me. That's what they said. We the elected official. Y'all was the damn fools to elect us and we weren't qualified. But you know what they did? They went and got other leaders that the Black community trusted to co-sign them because they were all getting a kickback. Okay? So why are Black people selling out the future of our people for money? I said all that to say this is short and simple because there ain't no repercussions. A politician can go and have all types of scandals and go to the Black church and get up in the pulpit and say, forgive me, God, I done changed my life and God said he forgave me, and give a good preach and a hoop and a holler, and the Black folks gonna fall out and then go right back to the polls and vote for him. Okay, so we are our own worst enemy. Okay, I'm not. Listen, I can't see. Our community don't like people like me because folks want a pacifier in their mouth. See, they want to be finesse. They want a titty in their mouth. Hey, my breast big, but I ain't had no milk in my titties in 20-some years. I can't breastfeed you. You're going to have to choke on some of this meat. Okay? Swallow some of this meat. The problem ain't them. The problem is us. We don't know how to unify. We don't know how to unite and organize. I was looking at Dr. King. I'm so glad God allowed me to run past it on YouTube. Dr. King, they was interviewing him, and they was asking him, why was the People's March? That's what they called it, the People's Campaign, I believe. Why was it so successful? He says it was a lot of hard work, but we was able to organize. It took a lot of organization, and we unified. So it ain't no big thing and no secret on what they did. They did something that we refused to do, and that's organize and unify because we so jealous of each other. That's it. That's it. That's all. Okay. That's it and that's all. Anyways, you guys, this is going on 10 o'clock. I need to get ready. I got to go over here to the police station. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I may get back on tonight. I want to do this while I still got the energy to do it, okay? Because even when I get to thinking about women, I go, but it's been so many women to violate me on here. At first, I was like, I'm a sister. I just don't want to be the cause of. And somebody said, these women screwing you royally. These men able to do what they do because they got these women helping them. You better not care about now, bitch, that don't care nothing about you. And so while I still got the energy, I got to go file this report on her. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. I got to run over here to the police station. I love you guys. I'll get back on tonight.